Jordan is here to explain.
In the Bo Pelini era, the Huskers have outscored FCS opponents 189-37. Since the creation of that division, the Huskers have never beat an FCS opponent by less than double digits. There's a reason these games are called guarantee games. Hopefully, that puts what you are about to witness into a little perspective, because today's Huskers-McNeese State matchup put this Huskers team on the wrong side of history. First quarter, Derek Milton, McNeese State 9 yards to pay dirt. Cowboys up 7-0. Huskers, though, quick with an answering drive. Abdullah takes the handoff on the read option, cutting his way up 19 yards for the first down. Same drive. Tommy Armstrong, you can use a sundial to measure his time in the pocket, hits a wide open Jordan Westerkamp for a 40-yard touchdown. We're all tied up at 7. Later in the first, Huskers on the march again. Armstrong keeps it, and he's got a big hole to run through. 42 yards later before he's finally hauled down inside the 20. That would lead to this. Abdullah finished it off with a 2-yard plunge into the end zone. One of his 2 TDs on the game, 14-7. Huskers out in front. The hits keep coming. Jordan Westerkamp with the cybernetically enhanced hands. Watch him pull in the one-handed grab along the sidelines. They go back to the ground now, where Armstrong had a huge day, piling up 22 of his team-leading 131 yards on the ground on this one. But just as things were starting to go right, they started to go a little wrong. Armstrong makes a bad decision. Aaron Sam snatches it. We're going all the way the other way. 98 yards. We're tied up at 14. Then more bad news. Jamal Turner pulls up lame on this overthrow. He's out for the year with a torn Achilles. Same drive, though. A little good news. Armstrong dumps it off to Abdullah. No one out in front of him but Green. 27 yards, 96 yards receiving on the day for Abdullah. Armstrong caps off the drive with a touchdown. Huskers up 7 at the break. In the second half, Huskers hoping for a little more. Armstrong devastating on this zone read all day. He picks up 35 more yards. It would lead to a field goal. 10-point lead Huskers, a little breathing room. But McNeese State not going away. Daniel Sams in the fourth quarter rips off a 25-yard run on third down. It leads to a touchdown. Huskers up just 3 late fourth quarter now. McNeese State driving. Tyler Bolfing to Kelvin Bennett. 32 yards, and they're down in the red zone. 3rd and goal for the Cowboys. Huskers D swarming for the loss. They would lead to a field goal. Tied at 24. Less than a minute now. And Abdullah puts on his cape and comes to the rescue like a good superhero, making impossible escapes, breaking tackles all the way into the end zone. 58 yards, 31-24 with 20 seconds left. Last gasp for McNeese State is going to end up picked by Corey Cooper, and that is the game. Huskers win 31-24.
We didn't execute. We had plays. We had some plays in the passing game. We didn't throw they dared us to throw it. We couldn't throw it. We didn't. We had opportunities. We had some drops. We had balls that weren't thrown right, and in my opinion, we got out-coached. Our plan wasn't good enough on the offensive side.
Here's a look at the final stats. Husker fans may want to avert your eyes. They outgained McNeese State in total yards, passing yards, and rushing yards, but third down conversions reared its ugly head again. Huskers just 5 of 17 on third downs this afternoon. Their one turnover was a big one. It was returned for a touchdown. So it was a less than stellar effort from the Big Red. Action 3 sports director Phil Aldridge was in Lincoln with a front row seat to the near disaster.
Garrett, I don't think I'm using hyperbole when I say that the Huskers avoided the biggest Division I catastrophe since Appalachian State, Michigan this afternoon, when Amir Abdullah emerged from the phone booth and turned a simple check down into a 58-yard season-saving touchdown.
Amir, he put the team on his back and won the game. I mean, with the kickoff return, too. So, you know, I mean, thank God for Amir.
The football gods were definitely on our side today. We got very lucky, but starting tomorrow, we're going to bring a different attitude.
That was the main focus, was getting the first down, but it turned, you know, a 4 or 5 yard gain into a touchdown.
I mean, there's a reason why he's one of the best players in the nation, so it's just Amir being Amir.
Now back to reality. Other than Amir's heroics, Coach Bo didn't see very much he liked against the Cowboys.
We got out-coached. We got outplayed. And like I said, we were lucky to win the football game.
We weren't focused. We just weren't ready. We took these guys too light, and they came in ready to play.
It was a loss for me. You know, for me personally, I feel like I didn't achieve what I wanted to do. I didn't do enough for the team in a certain sense, and I'm sure a lot of guys will say that. You know, we have high expectations for this year.
We were our own worst enemy multiple times in that football game. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from McNeese. I give them a lot of credit. But I just look at it from our point of view. You know, you got to take care of you first, and we didn't do that today.
Tommy Armstrong had a yo-yo afternoon. He accounted for 373 yards, 131 on the ground and 242 through the air. But once again, he struggled in the passing game, throwing a pick six that covered 98 yards, and there were a couple of more passes that should have been picked off.
We had a bunch of plays out there that we left on the field. We had flags, false starts, you know, drop balls, overthrown balls, and it all starts off with me. You know, I just want to come out and say that. You know, I take full responsibility for it.
They dared us to throw it. We couldn't throw it. We didn't. We had opportunities. We had some drops. We had balls that weren't thrown right, and in my opinion, we got out-coached. Our plan wasn't good enough on the offensive side.
It's not how they planned, but the Huskers are 2-0. Very little consolation for the coach tonight.
I've seen crazy things happen, and you let a team hang around, eventually they're going to make some plays. You know, and that's just the way it is. And you know, that's it. You have a chance to put some away, you better put them away. You better step on their throat. We didn't do that.
So the Huskers' 7-point win over a 1AA opponent surely won't help them in the polls this week, but it may motivate them to get ready for their first road trip of the season when they head to the West Coast to take on Fresno State. In Lincoln, Phil Aldridge, KMTV, Action 3 Sports.
That wraps up our Big Red coverage for now, but we'll have more reaction